What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags. Hope you're all staying safe and well out there. So Newcastle United have signed our first player of the season. It's only a youth player for the academy, but it is Alex Murphy from Galloway United. We'll have the picture up on screen now. He comes in from Galloway United. He's a pretty highly rated defender, Irish lad, of course, and you know, if you go check him out on YouTube, he is pretty decent. Now, I know you can't always believe YouTube videos for how the players play, you know, because they only do show you the best bits. There is the odd occasion where they do show you the negatives of the player as well. But, you know, from what I've seen of him, he is a pretty decent player. He's pretty highly rated as well. So, you know, he will be one for the future moving forward. At the end of the day, you know, it's not all about the first team. It's also about building for the future as well. And, you know, that's going to be a really good way to start Alex Murphy coming into the club's academy. At the end of the day, you know, Newcastle have got a massive reach all the way to the tippy top of Scotland, right the way down to Leeds to bring in youth talent. You know, the only people we'll be competing with on that youth talent will be the likes of, you know, Celtic and Rangers for the talent up in Scotland. Obviously, other clubs as well, like Man City, will probably maybe have a look there as well. But, you know, for us, we have the advantage that we are the furthest team north. So, you know, we have that as an advantage for us, you know, because any young lads that are coming from Scotland will at least still be within distance of their home country, so you know they'll be able to visit their family and such forth. But for me, you know, it's a great signing that Alex Murphy coming in from Galloway United is a really good player, and definitely one for the future. Like I say, you know, he's been a fantastic player at Galloway United from what I've seen of him on the YouTube videos. You know, I haven't seen him personally play in real life, but fantastic player coming in through the doors there for the youth academy. Moving on to, of course, another one that has been on every Newcastle fan's lips and on every Newcastle fan's lips yet again in this transfer window, and that is Sven Botman. He's there again. He's being talked about again for Newcastle United. He was on the tippy top of the list for people to be acquired by Newcastle in the January transfer window. Unfortunately, Lille were playing hardball with, so we weren't able to bring him in that window. But Newcastle are looking at bringing him in this window, and he is at the tip top of the list of players to be brought in, along with the likes of course, Lucas Paqueta, and a few other players as well, like we said, Diaby as well, from Leverkusen. So the reason I'm saying this one could happen with Sven Botman is purely down to the fact that, you know, we did see Paolo Maldini come out and make a comment about Sven Botman, and he basically put his hands up and said, you know, that there is other options out there other than Sven Botman. And for me, you know, in my opinion, that sounds as though, you know, he is putting his hands up and he is conceding defeat to Newcastle United. And, you know, if that is the case, then we are going to have a fantastic player if we can get Lille to agree to a deal for Sven Botman. You know, Sven Botman is highly rated in world football right now. He's one of the best centre-backs out there. He's being, you know, put along the likes of Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool, you know, so that in itself tells you how good of a centre-back, you know, and how good of a player Sven Botman really is. So, you know, if we can get Botman in, then I'll be absolutely chuffed to bits with that, because, you know, he is a really good centre-back and he will do us some amazing stuff going forward. Other players, like I say, you know, we said Diaby as well. Newcastle are looking at him from Leverkusen. If we can bring him in as well, that would be another player, you know, that would be amazing to see join Newcastle United. Lucas Paqueta as well. If we can get him to come to Newcastle as well, would be another really great player to add to the fold. And there was also news from a Uruguayan journalist as well that Newcastle were going to table a bid for Darwin Núñez as well of Benfica. If that's the case, I think it was like 100 million euros or something that we're talking about. And if that is the case, then that will be an absolute game changer going forward for us in the attack, because Darwin Núñez is by far one of the best renowned attackers right now in world football. And if we could be able to acquire a player of that standard at this point in time, he could be our Sergio Aguero, like Man City got, when they were taking over. And we definitely need to be looking down that path of getting somebody, that, and players that are going to be here, for the next 10 to 15 years. We need to be looking at players like that who are going to be here for the future, and can do it now, but can also do it in the future as well, because, that's a good way of making sure that you can continue to compete at the very highest level of the game. But moving away from the transfers, Newcastle have announced 2 matches in 2 days at St James's Park, with friendlies, of course, ahead of the 22-23 season. Newcastle will host Atlanta on Friday the 29th of July before welcoming Atletico Bilbao the following day. Of course, Atlanta has never played at St James's Park, but Atletico Bilbao have. They played at St James's Park, of course, in the UEFA Cup back in 1994, returning for Rob Lee's testimonial 7 years later. And of course, both sides have finished 8th in their leagues. And of course, talking about Atlanta, of course, they've finished 8th in Serie A, an outcome that ends 6 successive seasons of European involvement. And of course, Atletico Bilbao ended 8th in La Liga last season, missing out on European qualification, where they are currently without a coach following the departure of Marcelino. Not the same Marcelino was at Newcastle United, but that should be quite interesting. Them 2 games, they're both really good outfits, both really good teams in their respective leagues, so it will be quite an interesting one to see how we approach them games. Like I say, one's on the 29th of July and one is on the 30th of July, so the very next day after we've took on Atlanta, we will be taking on Atletico Bilbao. Both games, of course, at St James's Park as well, so we'll see how that fares, forward heading into the 22-23 season. Probably more friendlies as well will be announced ahead of them ones, before them games come. There will be more announced on friendlies, I'm sure. And hopefully by that point we will have signed quite a few players as well in the transfer window. Like I say, the transfer window opens on the 10th of June coming up, and it is open until 11 p.m. on the 1st of September. So plenty of time to get some brand new signings through the door. Hopefully, we will be seeing the likes of Sven Botman, Lucas Paqueta, Darwin Núñez, what have you, in a black and white shirt next season. That would be absolutely fantastic if we could get them players through the door. And there's also talk of Hugo Ekitike as well. Dean Henderson as well is another one. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Out of Diaby, Botman, Henderson, Dean Henderson, that is, Hugo Ekitike and Lucas Paqueta, would you be happy if we signed them players? Rated out of 10 down in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts. Until next time, remember to hit that like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, the lads.